This video lesson is going to be about clouds. Please make sure that you have a science journal ready to write down notes and any questions you may have. What are clouds? A cloud is a large group of tiny water droplets that we can see in the air. Clouds are formed when water on Earth evaporates into the sky and condenses high up in the cooler air. This is because of the water cycle. This image shows the different stages of the water cycle. There is condensation, precipitation, surface runoff and groundwater, evaporation, and transpiration from plants. After the water condenses into clouds, it falls back to the ground as precipitation. Precipitation comes in the form of rain, snow, sleet, and hail. The falling water collects in streams, lakes, and soil, and most of it flows back to the ocean, where it will evaporate again. There are a variety of different types of clouds. The main types include stratus, cumulus, and cirrus. Cirrus clouds form the highest up, and the temperature where they form is around 36 degrees below zero. This is why these clouds are made up of ice crystals. The area where cirrus clouds form is extremely windy, with winds that can get up to 100 to 150 miles per hour. These winds are what make cirrus clouds look thin and wispy. Cirrus comes from the Latin word cirro, meaning curly or fibrous. Cirrus clouds do create precipitation, but it doesn't make it to the ground when it falls, because the water either evaporates or changes back into a gas. One example of a subgroup of cirrus clouds is cirrocumulus. Cirrocumulus clouds have the appearance of rippled sand, small cotton balls, or fish scales, which is why it has the term mackerel sky. Another example is cirrostratus. Cirrostratus clouds are thin layers of cloud which cause a halo effect around the sun or moon. It appears often before an unsettled weather system. Stratus clouds are closer to the Earth than other types of clouds, so they are found at low altitudes. If you have ever walked around on a foggy day, then you have actually walked through a stratus cloud. Stratus clouds are long and flat and often form a cloud blanket. These types of clouds form when warm air filled with moisture lifts higher into the air to form flat, hazy clouds. The word stratus comes from the Latin word strato, which means layer. Stratus clouds can turn into different types of clouds depending on temperature changes or movement in the atmosphere. It is possible for these flat cloud blankets to change and become puffy cumulus clouds if there are the right conditions. There are two subgroups of stratus clouds. The first is altostratus. Altostratus clouds resemble a smooth gray sheet across the sky. Sometimes the sun shines through the layers, which look like a light is shining through frosted windows. The second type is nimbostratus. Nimbostratus clouds are smooth layers of gray, which a lot of the time can't be seen clearly because of the precipitation falling from them. Cumulus clouds are fluffy clouds that kind of resemble cotton candy floating in the sky. They constantly change shape and are usually gray on the bottom and bright white on the top. Cumulus clouds are made up of tiny drops of water and float low in the sky. These clouds form when hot, humid air comes up from the earth. As the clouds move, they get bigger and eventually disappear as they evaporate. These types of clouds usually form in nice weather, but they can still make precipitation. Cumulus comes from the Latin word cumulo, meaning piled or heaped. Cumulus clouds can also grow into larger kinds of clouds that can produce thunderstorms. These types of clouds are called cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus clouds are formed from very tiny drops of water. These clouds form very high in the sky, so the drops of water freeze as the temperature rises and the cloud gets higher, which is why the top of the cloud appears a bit fuzzy around the edges. The top of the cloud also can get blown by strong winds, which make a flat top much like a table. This flat top is called an anvil because it resembles the flat metal block called an anvil, which is used to hammer metal. The word cumulonimbus is formed from two words. In Latin, cumulus means pile and nimbus means rain cloud. These words describe a cumulonimbus cloud perfectly. Because it grows up vertically like a billowy pile, sometimes more than 11 miles high into the sky, and these clouds usually bring rain or other wet weather. Two examples of cumulus cloud subgroups are altocumulus and stratocumulus. Altocumulus clouds appear in a variety of shapes. When these types of clouds are very thin, you might be able to see rainbow-colored rings around the moon or sun. Stratocumulus clouds are similar to altocumulus because they can appear in a wide variety of different shapes and textures. So the main points that should be taken from this video are 1. That the water cycle is key in the formation of clouds. 2. There are 3 main types of clouds. And 3. Each type has a specific shape and appearance. Now you can write the response to this question in your science journal. What is your favorite type of cloud and why?